Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Joshua Meredith. I'm the Director of Career Advising and Technology here at the Shevet Glaubach Center for Career Strategy and Professional Development. We're so thankful that everyone was able to make it tonight, and we specifically want to thank the Yeshiva Student Union and the Stern College for Women Student Council and the Networking Club for sort of supporting us in this effort tonight. And this is definitely a collaborative event among us all. And we are super excited that many of you from the freshman and sophomore class are able to join us here at the Glaubach Center to really discuss what your futures would be. This is a two event series. Obviously, our first event here tonight. And then next week, we're going to do a panel sort of event and some breakout rooms with some professionals from medicine, accounting, journalism, finance, computer science, marketing, and education, where we have not only some young professionals, but some seniors from the colleges as well to sort of join us and really allow us for all of you to sort of get some experience and to learn some things about sort of those industries as a whole. Our goal tonight is that we're going to do some introductions, then we're going to talk about some networking skills, and then we're going to do some breakout rooms so you can meet some of the members of the advising team. But before we get started, I want to turn it over to the Executive Director of the Career Center, Susan Bauer, to say a few words.
Thank you, Joshua Meredith, Director of Career Advising and Technology, for your introduction. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. And we were chit-chatting earlier as we were getting started, but seeing your faces here tonight, or even your names, and getting to know them as you make your way through Yeshiva University, that's really what we're here for, and that's what energizes us. So welcome. I am the Executive Director of the Shevet Glaubach Center for Career Strategy and Professional Development, and it is a very new name. And I would like to point out the fact that these classes right now, the class of 2023, the class of 2024, you're the inaugural classes for the new Shevet Glaubach Center. So as we go on, you are the first class where the Career Center has changed its name to the Shevet Glaubach Center. And you will be apart from your first day, today forward, as we launch with our new name and we introduce new initiatives and new things to the students. We'll be tracking your journey. You specifically, your whole class will be looking at the data from your outcomes as you move from your first year to your second year to your third year to graduation and beyond. So this really is the start of your journey, and we're making a really dedicated and conscious effort to embrace these new classes with our new center and all of our new initiatives. So welcome. We're not literally going to be tracking you, but you are the leaders of your class. And we're starting off on a great foot by having you here. So there are members of my team here tonight. We're also excited to meet you. We wish it could be in person, but you're going to hear a little bit about the career advising side of the department and the employer relations side of the department. That's what really makes up our department. And the employer relations people, bring you all of the recruiting events, the employer panels, guest speakers, mentoring, keynotes. Todd, Mr. Latchpike will tell you a little bit about that. Joshua will talk a little bit more about the career advising. You'll get to meet our career advisors and our employer relations team, and you'll be off to a great start. I mean, this really is where it begins. And I think it's so important that the name did change from Career Center to Career Strategy, because that's really what this is. You don't walk into a center right before you graduate and expect to get 3 interviews handed to you and an offer without having a strategy getting you to that point. So this is where you start your strategy. This is where you work with us to figure out how to get you into the graduate school, how to decide what major you even want, how to get you into that first internship. What do you want your internships to lead to? Are you on a very linear path like accounting? Is it you're accounting, you're on CPA track, you're an accounting major, you're going to work at a Big Four? Or are you a liberal arts student, or a humanities student where you're an English major or a history major? And you really could end up in a million different places. we help you strategize on that. So it's not just this like weird ad hoc decision where you have to weigh whatever your options are right before you graduate. So welcome to our center. We're super excited to create these strategies with you. And I really hope you enjoy this evening. I hope to see each of you at our event next week, part 2 of the series, as Joshua was referring to. And that's it. I'm going to give it back over to Joshua to MC the evening, and I hope you have a great time.
Thank you, Susan. We really do appreciate you taking the time tonight to welcome the students and for everything that you do. We really, truly appreciate it. I want to turn it over next to my colleague, Todd Glaubach, who is the Director of Employer and Alumni Relations. Todd, take it away.
Thank you, Joshua and Susan, for the greeting, and thank you, students, for joining us tonight. It's very exciting to see everybody here. My name is Todd Glaubach. I'm the Director of Employer and Alumni Relations within the Shevet Glaubach Center. And as Susan mentioned, essentially, me and my team, we manage the employer and alumni relationships for purposes of recruiting students. So any organization, any firm, any alum that would like to post a position, recruit on campus, participate in an industry event, that's managed by me and my team. And you'll hear from one person in a little bit that's on my team. You know, as mentioned, the event next week, I'm very excited to bring you, well, me and my team are very excited to bring you 7 excellent alumni in the areas that Joshua mentioned. So I do hope you attend. They're super excited to participate in the event next week. You know, they were very happy to learn that it was specifically for FTOC students, and they felt that they really wanted to share their expertise as far as their majors and their career paths and any knowledge that they're able to impart on you. So I definitely encourage you to join that. While technically my role is not student facing, I always welcome speaking to students. So if you ever have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to speak with you. But I'm sure I'll see you around at our events, and we try to cover all majors. You know, it's not just business, it's not just liberal arts, it's not just STEM or anything like that. We really do try to engage students from all populations, and I do encourage you to take advantage of all the events that we host. We do career fairs, we do on-campus recruiting, we do informational sessions for specific organizations, we do the Meet a Professional series, which brings in an expert in a certain field just to have a fireside chat with students. And you're going to hear all about those if you haven't already, and please take advantage of them. Because it can really help, you know, as you're kind of starting your YU academic career per se, to make some decisions as you move forward in regards to your career strategy. I do wish I could introduce my colleague, who's the Associate Director of Employer Relations and Alumni Programs, Matthew Garcia, but we actually have another event going on tonight. It's Careers in Data Analytics, so he's has other obligations with that. However, it is my pleasure to introduce the Employer Relations Specialist, Barbara Lerman, who, if you have not seen her name, you absolutely will. She handles all the communications from the employer relations side of the department, opportunities, events, all that kind of good stuff. So if you don't know her yet, I can guarantee that you will know her at some point in the very near future. Barbara, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks so much, Todd. So as Todd mentioned, my name is Barbara Lerman. Yes, please check your emails. You'll probably see me in your inbox at least a minimum of once a day if you have not already. A big piece of what I do other than the communications is when you do go into Yeshiva University Career Link, which is our internal job and internship board, all of those postings and everything is all managed by myself here. But another thing I want to mention to you is, and it's part of Yeshiva University Career Link, is everything that you can utilize there. Right. So I'm not sure if it's exactly going to be touched upon here, but I really want to make sure that all of you are aware of it and you're using it and to all of its capabilities. So that's something where you're going to go to search and apply for your internships and job opportunities. We have new positions posted every single day. All of them are vetted. And what you need to know is that most of these opportunities are employers and alumni who are specifically coming to us to say, we want YU students. right? We want specifically YU students, we want to hire you. So I want to make sure that you're keeping that in mind. And other than the postings, that's where you're going to go also to RSVP for many of these fabulous, wonderful events that Todd has already mentioned, right? So our panels, our information sessions, which in the world of COVID right now are all virtual, as you could see, but you know, that's where you can go ahead and RSVP for those events. So I just really want to make sure that all of you are aware of that. And my number one rule is always check your email, because I'm always sending things out. But, you know, welcome. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. And yeah, thanks so much. Joshua?
Thank you, both Barbara and Todd. It was great to sort of have you introduce yourselves and tell all of our lovely students about what you do here at the Glaubach Center. And we really, truly appreciate you guys making the time to join us tonight. I want to introduce a couple of members of the advising team here as well, particularly because we do have another event going on and one of them has to jump over to that shortly. So I want to introduce Sharon Miller-Reyes. Sharon is the Associate Director of Career Advising. If I'm just gonna say, Sharon, just say a couple of quick words. We're gonna be on the screen together for this. Sharon, tell the students a little bit about what you do. Just a couple of sentences really quickly.
Yeah. So other than the obvious, meeting with students, and some of you, I recognize your names already. Part of the work that I do also involves on the student-facing side, I am working in reviewing all of your resume content. So anyone that is uploading a resume for review, I am providing virtual feedback for those resume reviews. I'm also encouraging you, especially those of you that need extra support, I'm going to encourage you to set up appointments with either myself or other members of the advising team to support you through that. And then on the back side of things, I'm working with Joshua on our Canvas page, which is our career hub. And so all of our major and industry guides are housed in there. All of our tip sheets related to our cover letters, resumes, you name it, it's housed within there. And so I work on that side of it as well. So as new things are coming up, we are adding content to that area to support you all through this journey. I think for some of you, you know, especially if you're still navigating the kind of what major you want to pursue or what career you're kind of exploring, I do encourage you to sign up for the Canvas Hub. You can always go into Career Link, which I think most of my colleagues mentioned, and go into the resource library, and there is a flyer there that will hyperlink you right back to our Canvas page. It was nice meeting you all. As Joshua said, I am heading over to the other event, so I look forward to connecting with you all in some capacity at some point. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sharon. Have a good other event. I want to introduce a couple of other members of the advising team. Naomi Cap, if you could come off mute for a second so we can chat. Naomi, tell us a little bit, the students a little bit about what you do and sort of how you help students here at YU.
Yes. So hi, everyone. I'm so glad that you came. We think it's really important for students to come early on in their careers to the Career Center. So we, at the SGC Center, we're just getting used to the name as well, so forgive us, or at least forgive me. So we really encourage students to come early to the center so that you can get a jump start on your career. Now, some of you, especially if you're freshmen and sophomores, may not know exactly what you want to do. So part of the role of the advisement team here, and part of my role, is to meet with you individually and to help you look at your strengths and your skills and your interests and see what kinds of careers might best fit with those aspects of yourself. So oftentimes that's what I do with freshmen and sophomores. And then there are other people who are students who enter very clearly directed. They know exactly what they want to do. And with those students, we help them start early then on strategizing how to get to their end goal. So it's not like all of a sudden you wake up and you're there, but there are steps you have to take. And that's what we will help in partnership with you to do. We will help you look at what are the kinds of opportunities that you need to take advantage of, how can you connect with alumni in areas that you're interested in? How can we help you develop marketing tools like a resume or a cover letter that to send out to some of these opportunities that you'll see posted on YUCL, YU Career Link. So, and then finally, we work with juniors and seniors to help them with if graduate school is in your plans, then we help you with the graduate school application process. And if a full-time job is in the plans when you graduate, then that's what we'll help focus you on and help direct you on. So we're really here to service all the needs of the students.
Thank you, Naomi. I really appreciate it. Just two more members of our team, Daniel Coleman, who is the Assistant Director of Career Advising. Daniel, a couple of words on what you do. It looks like you're in a lovely office this evening.
I am indeed. I snuck into my wife's office, which is actually not far from where I live. I'm actually in Washington Heights, so I'm not far from my office either, but I just gave a webinar. I needed to escape the kids. Every Wednesday evening, we've been doing webinars, I think for, I don't know, 6 months, a year, not quite the whole pandemic, but we've been giving a series of webinars. And so tonight was an exciting one. We have some students that come and join us live, other students that watch it on our ever-growing YouTube channel. So if anyone's interested in checking that out, just go onto YU's YouTube channel and you'll see a whole slate of now the Shevet Glaubach Career Center. I'm also going to get it wrong, but anyway, you'll see all of our videos there. And thanks to Joshua, actually, as a director of advising and technology, who really helps with the tech side. And I feel like sometimes within like 10 minutes of me finishing a webinar or one of my colleagues finishing, it's already up there on the YouTube page somehow magically. So we're grateful to him for stewarding those technological efforts. I think because I've already said a lot tonight on my previous webinar in the last hour, I think I'm going to sort of end there. But just to echo my colleagues on saying that we have open doors, and these are now even more open in the virtual world. So please look us up. We're very easy to find. We're very accessible, and we're quite a friendly, well, I like to say a diverse and friendly bunch. So look forward to meeting all of you. I like Naomi said, I've already met a couple of you. Looking forward to meeting even more of you as the months and years go by.
Thank you, Daniel. And last but not least, Jim McCorder, who is also one of an assistant director of career advising. Jim, just a couple of words. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Jim McWhorter here. I don't know what else to add. Naomi, you nailed it all, I think, what we do. So to follow up with that, I also help out with the student employees, supervising them too, but I'll just share my quick YU journey. Yes, Susan, it is almost a year. So my YU journey was, yes, March 2nd, 2020. Seeing if anyone has any glimmers of recognition of the date.
Yes.
A few glimmers of recognition for students. Some students started laughing already. Yeah, so my first day was at Wilf, second day at Barron, March 4th was when got some text there. I'm going underground from 125th to 42nd and something about emergency COVID. I've been virtual since. So my colleague Naomi, we've never met, ever. My other colleague Todd, never met him either. So Joshua, I've met once or twice, and I work with him very closely. Susan met once or twice. So Daniel, at least I met you once before. So it's been a very interesting time. So also a little bit about myself too. I have 2 sons in college, COVID, enough said. Onward and over, Joshua, here we go.
Yes. Jim, thank you so much for joining and for your words tonight. I really do appreciate it. And thank you. And I know the students do as well. I wanted to just make sure as part of tonight, and that we do have the networking club here, that we said a little bit about networking. And I know that we're running just a couple of minutes behind. And I know that some of you will want to jump into some breakout rooms and get to meet Daniel, Naomi, and Jim. But just a couple of ideas on sort of networking overall. And I actually learned this of my mentors. His name is John Gilroy. He is a technologist in Washington. He also hosts one of the most well-known and longest running radio shows in Washington, D.C., which he has done for more than 25 years. So every week for 25 years, he's had to have a guest on his radio show. And I've actually appeared 2 or 3 times. But with that said, if you need to fill all of those weeks, you have to be a great networker, right? He has to find people who want to come and be interviewed on his show for an hour. This is an interesting sort of time in the concept of networking. But a couple of things that I learned from John that I would share as someone who really had an effect on how I networked and sort of helped me sort of grow, and now to sort of spread the word with that is when I think of the concept of networking, there has to be 2 concepts. The first concept is you can't be afraid. Okay, so you got to be able to sort of take that shot, right? So whether you are sending a LinkedIn message or you found someone's email, or maybe you're at a virtual panel event like we have going on here, and there's the opportunity to meet someone, or there's speed networking through Zoom, which I know is happening in many parts and industries and parts of the world. You have to be able to go out there and sort of get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I've talked about this a number of times with students, that ability to sort of have that first conversation, right? Hi, I am X, Y, and Z. I go to Yeshiva University. I'm super interested in the top, whatever topic that person's sort of in, right? I would love to talk to you for a few minutes about how was your journey, how you got to position you needed at, right? In the older times of a year ago, it would all be about, hey, can you go up to someone? Can you shake their hand? Can you meet them? Can you have that first interaction? Can you say something in maybe the minute or 2 that you're talking with them that is memorable? Okay, so that is, I think, a first tip of sort of networking that I think is incredibly important. The second tip that's incredibly important is when you're networking, it has to be a 2-way street, even when you're a student. Okay, so I know for many of you, you'll have sort of your first networking opportunities are coming now. And for many of you, you haven't done this before, but networking is always a 2-way street. When you go up to someone and you start having that conversation, within the first 30 seconds, I go, hi, I'm really looking to learn to meet new people and to get my foot in the door in this industry or learn more about X. Is there something that you need from networking? Is there something that you can provide? I can provide to you. Now, you may think at your level, there is nothing that you could potentially provide, but that's actually not true. There's plenty of things that you could provide. You can provide new insight and perspective. You can provide another potential connection. Anytime I reach out to someone, even if it's cold on LinkedIn, I say, hi, my name is Joshua. I'm interested in speaking to you because of XYZ. I see that you have that maybe I can connect you to some other people within your field or maybe a new business opportunity. And that's really sort of a key sort of idea around networking and something that I think is really important. Every conversation is the ability for not only for you to receive, but also for you to give. And I think that is a real hallmark that you need to think about when you sort of get moving within your networking. One final piece, and this is something that I believe in, is that every interaction that you have is the creation of a networking scenario. Okay, so whether it's with a fellow student or a faculty member or an advisor or someone here at the university or someone maybe at your shul or maybe at a Passover Seder in a few weeks, whatever it may be, those are all opportunities for you to network, right? Don't be shy, don't be shy about what you're doing and who you are. If there's someone that you haven't met before and there's the ability to have that conversation, that back and forth, that push and pull, okay, I encourage you to have that, okay? And I know that's a learned skill. It takes some time, okay? But it will happen over time. One of the good relationships that I have right now is, someone I talk to every once in a while. We don't have a deep sort of networking connection, but if any of you know, and you may have heard of, and I'm just going to put them up on the screen, Monster headphones. Okay, Monster headphones. They have a lovely CEO, and I've met a number of members of his executive team, And every once in a while I call them and I make sure I check in and I say, hey, is there anything I can do for you? And they say, is there anything you can do for me? And we sort of have that back and forth relationship. It's a professional business relationship that I literally went up to the CEO of Monster at a conference and I said, hi, I'm Joshua Meredith. I really love your products. What can I do to help you? With your in sort of that, and he was fascinated by that approach, right? And we're able to sort of have that conversation, that first conversation, and really get started, and really, you know, without much of an introduction. And I think that's key. That's something that you need to really think about when you're moving forward in your careers. How do we have those conversations that will lead to the back and forth that really makes networking go? Okay, I've said way too much. So with that said, I'm going to remove my spotlight here, and I'm going to make sure that I want all of you to be able to get to breakout rooms with our lovely advisors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign each one of them to their breakout room so that they are all set. And then once we have that done, you can pick which room you want to go to. Jim, Naomi, and Daniel will all have rooms. I'm going to open them right now. Please jump into a room, have a conversation. There'll be no coming back to the main room tonight. Whenever you want to jump off, you're more than welcome. We really do thank you for attending tonight. And we're really looking forward to having our event next week as part of our series. So thank you all for coming. Rooms are open. Go ahead and jump in there. And we look forward to talking to you really soon. Thank you all.